Greetings everyone. So I had an interesting comment. A friend of mine's helping to promote the guitar school, which is cool. And he got a comment from a friend of his who's an opera singer. And basically she said that I shouldn't be offering stuff for free because it lowers the standard and then it pushes work away from people who are properly qualified and need to earn a living. So this is quite an interesting point. I mean, obviously if she's an opera singer, like that's awesome. And I mean, they are like the elite athletes of the singing world. And she has trained incredibly hard to get there, trained incredibly hard to maintain that, and must have had like incredibly high tuition to even get there. So I get it, and I'm a professional player and I can play to a high level, so I get that as well. It is difficult to earn a living today, and people have less money generally, and there's more competition, especially with the internet. So when I was a young lad, if you wanted guitar lessons, you basically just go into someone's house. The internet didn't exist then, as we know now. So the only option was paid through either your school or someone local that you know. And so with online teaching, it's great because you can really get the reach. You can teach people everywhere around the world, and it's good for people who are remote and maybe can't get access to someone local, so they can go online and get some lessons, either free ones or not. And free or not is a very good point for discussion. There's a lot of stuff out there because with the internet, it's a great leveler. So anyone can just put their stuff out there. If it's content like the music, get people to listen to it, or some lessons. And some people generally want to help, or they're maybe a lower level player, but they said, look, I've got past basic beginner, so I want to help people at least get past that step. Here's how you do it, which is cool. And for prospective students, it can be a bit of a minefield because there's so much content out there. How do you know which one to choose? Because so many people can put stuff out there, it can be just any sort of level, and it can be harder for the professionals to stand out. So as a professional, how do you do that? One method would be try and go viral, do lots of silly gimmicks and things, but then it can maybe look you a bit silly. Or you could just post consistently and eventually build up a following like that. Another way to judge, because it can be very hard for students to judge what is the good one, what is just amateur level, and especially if you're new, you don't really know. High production values can help. If someone's put a lot of effort into making their content look really good and really professional, that can be a good sign. Or maybe just someone who's been doing it a long time and has acquired the skills to make it look more polished. For myself, because I've done a lot of real world teaching experience, I can say that my stuff is good. Objectively, I'm not just saying, oh, I'm really good. I've taught in schools and I've taught face-to-face, all different levels. So I know how to teach, and a lot of people don't know how to teach. There's a difference between playing and difference between teaching, because a lot of people can play, but they just maybe learnt like self-taught, and so they'll say, oh, this is how I do it, which is fine, but it might be just that that's the way you do it, and maybe you don't understand it clearly, or you do, but you're just saying this is how it works. If you are someone who is a good teacher, you need to be able to put yourself in the student's shoes, and often that can come from being taught yourself at a younger age. What I've done is, because I've taught kids with special needs, very young kids and adults and all abilities, looking at materials and saying, like, this is what people are normally taught, or this is what I've put across, and what is the best way I can present that for the student. And often it might not be what is the most common way. One example is chord diagrams. I really hate that they're rotated either 90 degrees, or it's not the viewpoint that you look at it. Because a lot of people will say, well, this is the chord, this is the first G chord, this is what it is, there you go. Whereas I've had to look at things and say, this is basically what it is. What is the simplest way I can pass this across? What problems will someone face as a beginner? Chords can be very difficult. So if you can reduce it down, make it a lot simpler, that can really help. So going back to the original point, should you give stuff away for free? You almost have to for now, because unless you're really established, and how do you get established? Difficult, chicken and the egg. So what we're doing with this course is there will always be a free level, so you can get the really basic stuff, and then so there's the beginner guitar course. So if you've never held a guitar, you can just pick that up and the course is for you. And then sexy chords is some more advanced chords, which is more free material. So my method is that you can have stuff for free, but then there will be paid tiers later. So if you want access to one-on tuition or private groups, then that would be worth paying for, because from this opera singer's point of view, yeah, she's had very high level tuition, and if you want to teach people at high level, yeah, you absolutely need to pay that. And I won't be doing high level teaching for free, because it takes a lot more preparation, and it deserves a lot more attention. Like, the students deserve that preparation and respect that you're giving them, something that's worthy of your time and their time. So for now, the free stuff is well produced. It's professionally filmed, and then I edited it, and it's very good quality, because I know it's been road tested. These methods are for people who've never played guitar or kids who are struggling with the first instrument. So that is free. But then if you want more access to me, then that will be paid. But I won't be doing everything for free. So is it worth doing stuff for free? Yes, to start with. And then if people want to pay more and get more advanced stuff. So there's a balance. So because I've already recorded this course, I don't need to spend a lot of time putting it together and putting it out there, because again, that's a lot of my time. And how much of my time do I want to spend working for free? Not a lot, but because that's already done, check it out there. And I'll be doing regular updates for chords and songs, and then you can access that at free level. But then for the high level stuff, which you might not be ready for, you might never be ready for, which is fine, then that's later. But for now, come along and you can learn a lot of stuff for free, and it will help you get you started. So then you might just want to get to a level where you can play with your friends or show some stuff to your friends, or just for yourself. Maybe you struggled for a long time to get to somewhere functional. So this will get you somewhere functional, and then we can take from there. So cheers for watching.